Nearly 6 years ago, we were out at the Nampa Airport doing a story about World War II veterans taking an honor flight in a 1940s biplane. Back then, we told you, there were about 850,000 World War II veterans still alive in the United States. 5,500 of those lived in Idaho back in 2015. Well, the National World War II Museum estimates we lose about 296 vets a day. And by next month, according to that formula, there will be fewer than 240,000 left out of the 16 million who served, which means we've lost more than 610,000 in nearly 6 years based on those estimates. And that doesn't account for the losses due to the coronavirus. All of those veterans still with us are in their 90s. Most are nearly 100 years old, which is why these honor flights are so important these days. Because we know what we haven't lost in sheer statistics when it comes to our greatest generation, we've likely lost in collective memories.
You're going to do great. There you go.
Hugh Mayse is about to do something
Now step onto the airplane.
he hasn't done
Well, you're doing really good.
in more than 20 years.
That's your opinion.
Of course,
Okay, now I need your hand right up here.
at 97,
I'm pretty old for this.
just 2 months shy of his 98th birthday,
You gotta lift that leg up. He's gonna help you.
I'll do.
Okay, good job.
there's a lot of things Hugh can say he hasn't done in a while.
Good job. Woo!
This kind of activity is a lot different than what Hugh's used to. A cornhole session can be about as exciting as any mid-morning can get for Hugh and his neighbors. Hugh is one of 2 World War II veterans living at the cottages. That makes 2 of the about 1,800 still living in Idaho.
Can we do this one more time?
It's
Can
your
you
turn,
play?
Dad.
It's your turn.
But for Hugh and his fellow veterans, age isn't just a number. It's a testament to time, what they've spent,
Oh, this is a long walk.
It's a long walk? Yeah, it is.
and what they've lost.
Do you remember when you were in the military during the war?
No.
You don't remember when you were flying in the planes?
Yes.
You do remember the planes,
Yes.
and you were a nose gunner.
In 1941, when America was pulled into World War II, Hugh was already working for the war effort, building planes meant for battle at Boeing. A year later, at 19, Hugh joined the Army Air Corps. He didn't make it as a pilot, but he sat pretty close to them in a B-24 Liberator.
Nose gunner, yeah. And we were in action all the time. Anytime we were flying, we were ready to drop bombs if we had to. And if we thought somebody was going to bomb us, we took time to take a shot at them.
Hugh flew hundreds of missions on the Pacific Front.
Well, we did the same thing every day. We just had a job to do, and we did it.
His daughter, Deborah, didn't hear much about it growing up.
No, not much. I would ask questions, but he rarely brought it up.
These days, Deborah wishes she had paid better attention when her dad did talk about them.
He'd tell you these stories and everything, and my memory isn't as good as it could be either. And you just forget.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know about wartime now?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Watching her dad deal with dementia has been almost as difficult for Deborah. She says it's been a slow decline for the last 5 years or so.
I forgot a lot about it.
I know.
Huh?
I know.
Which is why this morning is almost as big a day for Deborah.
Hey, Dad!
Hugh is one of 6 Treasure Valley veterans taking part in this year's Dream Flight. Today, it's a 20-minute ride around the Weiser Airport in a 1942 Boeing Stearman biplane. And you'd think after a dangerous deployment in the exposed front of a bomber would make someone want to stay away from planes. Not Hugh.
Well, he made planes.
After the war, Hugh went back to work for Boeing and helped build the 747 in the 1960s. But even those memories seem too distant for Hugh.
When you lose your memory, you lose who you are.
So Deborah hopes a morning like this one might help Hugh find himself a little bit.
And I just wanted something that would spark, give him a spark.
A spark. Maybe a memory.
I hope so. I just hope so. Even if just for a minute, it's worth it. I hope it sticks with him long enough he can talk about it for a while. Yay, Dad! Yay! You're still a flyboy, Dad. I hope he dreams about it. He'll probably be flying in the dreams.
Hey, everybody look at me.
I'm so proud of you. You did great. Was it fun?
Oh, yes.
You're my favorite pilot. I think all the fellas in World War II were heroes. You've got to autograph the plane, Dad. It just makes me feel so good that somebody else has singled him out for honors, because he deserves them. I'm so glad this worked out.
Oh, good.
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad you're glad.
I am.
The Dream Flight program has taken more than 4,500 veterans on flights since its inception in 2011. Since they had to postpone all their flights last year due to COVID, they decided they're going to make up some ground this summer. So founder Daryl Fisher decided they would do Operation September Freedom. Using as many as 6 planes a day, they would fly as many World War II vets as they could from August 1st through September 30th. And in just about 2 weeks, they've honored nearly 230. August, September, it's a meaningful time for World War II buffs. That was when the Japanese surrendered to U.S. forces in 1945. It was announced 76 years ago this past weekend on Sunday that it was officially assigned, I should say, on September 2nd. Hugh Mayse says he was there to witness that in Okinawa. Mayse was discharged from the Army Air Corps, the predecessor of the Air Force in 1946, with a rank of sergeant. He's going to turn 98 on October 27th.